Ashley, when we're recording is not the best time to start cleaning the studio.
It started driving me bananas because somebody threw shit on the floor and didn't do anything about it.
I did not. You were correct.
All right. I feel a little better.
Welcome back to our recording session.
Thanks.
So glad you could join us today
Brontosaurus Rex.
on
Glad I
your
could be here.
topic.
We haven't even started the episode yet. Beige. We're jib-jabbing.
I really want to sing the song.
No, it's not good. Why would you want to sing it?
I didn't say it wasn't good. I just said it's not your best work.
That's the equivalent of saying it's not good.
No, the equivalent of saying it's not good is like, that sucked.
That's like us going, you're pretty.
Fuck you.
That's not us telling
Fuck
you you're
you.
stupid.
Fuck you.
It's just us telling you you're pretty.
You.
Did your world just shatter?
Yes.
Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss.
The history, mystery, and theory.
Of all things questionable, odd, and eerie.
Hello, ladies.
I was wondering if you were going to have a sing-songy entrance like you always do.
What?
Every time we record the intro, it always follows with somebody going either hello or
All
"Sue."
right.
Yeah.
Because that's usually you.
No,
No.
it's usually me.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I can't tell sometimes.
It's hard to tell us apart, especially when you're sitting in the room looking at us all the time.
It's difficult,
Y'all just blend together.
Fair.
basically. It's true. We have those moments. So I busted the button off my pants today.
In front of my husband.
Yeah, but he didn't see it
Okay.
happen. He just found the button on the floor. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Interesting.
Glad you caught it before your daughter swallowed it. Good job.
Yeah. Oops.
That's those dad reflexes for you.
Yeah. As a mom, you would think I had them too, but guess not.
You weren't around your kids, so it's fine.
Yeah, they only engage when you're around your child.
No.
I wish, but no.
It's kind of a just mob mentality thing.
Did you say mob mentality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mob.
Mob life.
Okay. Yeah.
So how are you guys?
I got a cat.
Yeah.
I got a second cat.
Yay.
little Capone.
He's full of energy and then so different from Gustafer.
He's so
Speaking
cute.
of mob and little Capone.
Right?
Yeah. He's
There's
precious.
so much energy in such a small package because he's significantly smaller than Gus, and I don't know what to do with it yet.
He'll settle.
He will. Until then, I have to hide the plants.
Yeah. It's fine. Too bad it's winter and you can't just put them on the porch.
I don't have a porch.
Well,
Sorry.
there's that.
Well, too bad. Then you can't do that. Tiff, how's it going? How are things?
Hi.
Yeah.
You know what throws a wrench in your plans? Whenever somebody randomly gets a sporadic rare disease
What?
while you're out of town and your
Yeah.
mom is 4
They
states
didn't-
away.
They didn't randomly get the disease. They just started to show symptoms of.
Well, it's
How is that a
sporadic.
helpful statement?
Well, I'm just.
It's sporadic. It just like randomly occurred in him.
Yeah.
So there's a familial strand and a sporadic strand, and he
Oh.
has a sporadic one.
Super.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So yeah,
I mean, not cool.
my dad now has migraines that give him stroke-like symptoms.
It's
And it-
insane.
It is random and
Terrifying.
terrifying. So
yeah.
yeah,
How's your wine?
delicious,
And your cheesecake.
delicious. But he's doing really well right now. So
Sometimes I wish we weren't on a podcast because your face could have been broadcasted to the world and brought so many smiles.
those 3 cheesecake bites were a religious experience. Devouring them.
Happy Jesus. Or
How-
happy deity of choice.
How are you, Ashley?
Happy cheesecake. I'm fine.
Hey, happy cheesecake. I'm fine.
If me laying on the floor of our studio wrapped up in a blanket watching The Office when you both came in here doesn't quite sum up how things are.
You were cocooned in that blanket.
Cocooned,
Do I
and
need to
it was
come
so
back?
comfy. I'm good. It's just been one of those funks,
Yeah.
and that was a happy place for me.
It is a happy place.
It was a fuzzy blanket. I had my office, the
Just
office
yours.
on my phone,
Yes.
which you guys have convinced me to binge, and I am obsessed.
You're welcome.
good.
Yeah, and I don't get to do that very often, working mom life of a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice.
Good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
And now you get to spend time with us
Da,
and tell
da,
us
da,
something
da.
new. And it's going to be great. Is it new?
Something new. I was going to say my pants, but I didn't wear my new ones.
No.
That's the reason my button popped off. I got nothing. I can tell you a story,
Yeah, let's do that.
Story works.
which you guys probably, maybe, might know the story.
I'm excited.
You're always excited.
Tell me something good.
It actually does end on a little bit of a positive.
Yay.
So there's that. Are we ready?
Yeah.
This is covering my first story that has a documentary based on it.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And I think we briefly kind of touched base on it on a previous episode, but we're going to go into the details now.
Is it one I've already seen?
I don't know if you've seen it, but I think you've probably heard the story.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
It is the story of John Wood.
Give me the details and I might know.
I'll give you the details.
Oh, good.
And I tried to go through, and because I like to do my stories chronologically, so I kind of strayed from the way that the documentary is set up because it kind of bounces. So I tried my best to do it chronologically for us.
To be fair, it's a little annoying when documentaries do that. So I appreciate this.
Well, with documentaries, they can do that. It's easier to follow on a visual
Format.
medium. Yeah. Then anyway, so John Wood was born to a well-off, close-knit family in Maiden, North Carolina. John's father, Tom, was a bit of a local celebrity as a big furniture company executive who employed many of the locals. The Wood house was the place to be. The basement had a roller rink. They had a go-kart track and go-karts, and they would allow the local kids to have their birthday parties and other local celebrations there.
I'm sorry, did they live in a theme park?
It was basically like the Richie Rich house.
I was just
Who has a
picturing
roller
that.
ring in their basement?
I wish I had
Where
a basement.
I grew up, that was called an unfinished basement.
I'm good.
Fair.
I want this.
We couldn't do that in my basement because my basement opened up to a driveway that was a very steep decline.
Yeah.
That would not have ended well because someone would have gone off of it.
You should get your husband to move all the cars out of your garage and we can have a roller rink.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, if Hagrid is anything like my dad, those cars aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
No. Anyway.
So his father, Tom, was a bit of a daredevil who loved to work with his hands. He was a pilot. He rode the go-karts with the kids and loved building things around the family's property. He had a hard time just staying in his office. He would rather be in the warehouse working with the equipment or helping the guys in the shop. And I don't have many dates on this, so I'm sorry.
That's
Do we
fine.
have like a general time frame that we're putting this in?
The main part of the story starts early 2000s.
Okay. Cool.
So I think he was born late 70s.
Okay, cool.
That makes sense with the roller rink and the go-kart.
Yes.
Perfect.
John enrolled in boot camp right out of high school, and his family was so proud to see him serving his country. But at one point, he returned to boot camp after a small leave. He tested positive for drugs and was immediately kicked out.
That will happen.
Yes. After a long battle with addiction, John was able to get sober and worked on mending the relationships that were tattered due to his drug use, including his relationship with his parents.
Yay.
On January 17th, 2004, Tom, John's dad, wanted to take one of his planes out for a last spin as he was set to sell it the next day. Tom, John, John's brother-in-law, and nephew all went up for a beautiful ride, and all was perfect until they hit an unexpected weather front, and Tom could no longer control the plane. The engine sputtered out and crashed down.
Oh, no.
Everyone in the crash sustained injuries, but Tom Wood ultimately lost his life, and John lost his leg.
Oh, no. Ashley.
Keep going.
I don't know this story, but
I
makes me
might.
sad.
John's leg had to be amputated due to the injuries he sustained during the crash. After the surgery, John insisted on keeping the leg in an attempt
I
to
know
make
this story.
I knew it would be right around that point.
Yes, this is wonderful. Okay.
After the surgery, John insisted on keeping the leg in an attempt to make a memorial to his father. Surprise!
Got a leg up on that one.
John spoke with multiple people at the hospital, including the surgeon, and he was told that someone would be able to get the flesh off of his leg and return just the bones to him.
That's slightly less creepy. Because when you
I
said
could see
kept
that.
his leg, I imagine like a mummified taxidermy leg for some reason.
I mean, I don't think most hospitals would let that happen.
No, they would not.
It'd be like that one house. Was it the Marshall House where they cut off the arms
Oh,
and
yeah,
legs?
and just buried him under the floorboards?
You mean in 1864 during the Civil War?
Yeah. And
Again.
Ashley was like, but chop, chop. Bye-bye.
Take it with you. You dispose of this. Adios. It's not like they were properly disposing of them, so why would they care? But anyway, Dwayne, the mortician, picked up the leg from the hospital and returned it to John at his home. It was wrapped in a white trash bag with tape around it. As John was examining the contents of the bag, he heard a car door slam shut. Dwayne's minivan pulled out of the driveway. John then realized that the whole leg was returned to him, flesh and all.
I mean, that's what I was picturing in my head. So
yeah,
cool.
same here, but that's...
Yeah, nasty. It gets better. This part of the story had me laughing out loud.
Oh,
I'm
in my
so
office.
excited.
Oh, no.
Soon he realized that he needed somewhere to store his leg until he could figure out what to do with it. He realized the best thing to do would be to keep it in the freezer, but half a leg wouldn't fit in his freezer at home, so he of course turned to his friends for help. He knew someone who may be able to help him, his friend who worked at the local Hardee's.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He stopped by and asked her if she could store it for a few hours until he could find another place. And as any good friend would be, she was happy to help.
So let me get this straight. It went from hospital to mortician to him, and there has been nothing done to preserve this leg.
Correct.
Ugh.
And now it's going
And
into a Hardee's
now it's
freezer.
going to Hardee's.
Ugh.
And I quote, "She must have laid it right on top of the sausage biscuits or something right in the breakfast rush hour.
Oh, no.
Because I got no more than a quarter mile down the road and I'm getting a phone call. The manager done found this leg. I just went around to the drive-thru there and picked this thing up. She slipped that thing out the window to me."
Oh my God, that's the most amazing thing.
That's disgusting.
It's hilarious.
I am... Ugh.
Yes. Yes.
Well, sausage biscuits are ruined for me now.
Just don't go to Hardee's.
yeah. I don't get my sausage biscuit from Hardee's anyway, so I'm fine. This is
They
beautiful.
didn't make sausage biscuits out of them. Ideally, the sausage biscuits were wrapped. And according to Hardee's, I think they say they make theirs fresh.
Also, the Sausage King was not in this story, so
Yeah. They didn't make biscuits out of his leg. It was just merely stored.
I
with them.
prefer
That's
my
fine.
sausages to not be adjacent to strangers' legs, attached or unattached.
You're so picky, Rebecca.
you are like, would you like me to pull
You-
the silver spoon out
You
of your
be
mouth?
quiet. You be quiet.
You know,
You licked an unidentified substance off your shirt to figure out
It
what
was
it was.
my shirt, and it was candy. It's fine. It worked out well in the end.
Unidentified substance.
Look,
how do you know your sausage biscuits haven't been an unidentified substance?
Oh, let's continue with the story as I drink more wine.
John got a friend that worked at a mortuary to get him some embalming fluid so he could preserve the leg himself.
that sounds like a terrible idea.
He tore the screen off of his front door, wrapped the leg in it while it soaked in a roasting pan in his shed to mummify it. After it set in the embalming fluid for some time, he hung it in a tree in his front yard for 6 months to let it sun
In
dry.
his front yard?
I'm so happy.
Why?
This is amazing.
Ugh.
I mean, he's resourceful if nothing else. You got to give him that.
This is wonderful.
This is so gross.
See, I can't decide what I would do in that situation. Like, would I just try and like peel
At
the
least
meat off myself?
have the decency to stick it in the backyard.
Would you go
Maybe
to?
he didn't have a good tree in the backyard that got enough sun,
I don't have a tree in my backyard. I've got one in the front yard.
right? Happy Halloween.
For 6 months.
Uh-huh. After the crash, John unfortunately went down to a downward spiral again. He continuously blamed himself for the crash, thinking that as the co-pilot, he should have reacted sooner, or he should have noticed that there was an issue with the engine and helped his dad land. Due to the guilt and the trauma of healing from his injury, Wood became addicted to pain medication, Oxycontin, that he was given when he left the hospital. Eventually, his family gave up on him again and he lost everything. In the summer of 2005, John was evicted from his current home and everything he owned went into storage. He placed his amputated, mummified, sun-dried leg into an old smoker and put it in the storage unit and moved to South Carolina.
Okay. I mean, what else are you going to do?
I mean, you got to put everything you own.
Yeah.
John's mother offered to pay for the first 3 months of the storage costs while John got back on his feet, but after 3 months, John was not able to keep up the payments and lost the storage unit. And here enters Shannon Whisnant.
Whisnant. Sorry. He can't choose his last name. I'm sorry.
No, he can't, but
He's a butt.
he's kind of a whiz nut, so maybe that's what we'll call him. A fast-talking entrepreneur who purchased the storage unit at an auction. Storage unit? What did I just say?
A storage unit. It's not
A
wrong.
storage unit.
Storage unit.
It's what you do.
Storage unit. Sorry.
This is a storage of a lovely unit.
That was filled with some amputated legs. Shannon Whisnant, a fast-talking entrepreneur, purchased the storage unit at auction. When he got all the items home, he was in for the surprise of a lifetime.
You don't say.
He opened the grill and found what he believed to be an intricate piece of driftwood. After closer investigation, he realized his hands was dripping wet with the cholesterol that had run out of the piece.
Oh.
And he was not holding a piece of driftwood,
Because driftwood doesn't have cholesterol.
but the remains of a gnarled human leg, tendons, toenails, and all. I quote, "A foot, 5 toes and 5 toenails."
That didn't clue him in that it's not a piece of driftwood.
No, that was his quote when he was explaining what he had found.
The toenails threw me over the edge. Ugh.
Tendons, toenails, and all.
No. No. Sorry.
How do you not just run away screaming from that and set what you bought on fire?
He called out for his mom.
Mom. Mama.
Ma,
In the documentary.
you gotta
It's
see this.
incredible because apparently he screamed and his mom was like, "What happened?" He goes, "I found a foot." And she goes, "A what?" And he goes, "A foot." "A what?"
Because how else would that go?
And their country accents are to die for, honey. I love it so much.
Sometimes the South is too much.
It makes me so happy. And then that's when he says, "A foot, 5 toes and 5 toenails." Because that's the descripting factor of a foot.
He's not wrong.
He's not technically, but I don't know.
What would you?
I was just
If you
about
had
to
to
say, I
describe
don't
it.
know what I would use to better describe it, but that wouldn't be the first
I have
thing
no
that would come
idea
to
because
mind.
I'd still be screaming why don't buy storage units?
No, people make good money doing that. It's fine. Just when you find
A
a foot,
A what?
5 toes, 5 toenails, a foot.
Can we go on with the story?
I'm trying.
Ashley's broken.
You watch a documentary.
I did.
Did you watch it with Hagrid? Because I feel like
No.
he would love this.
I think he would be able to relate too well.
This.
He'd be like, "Is that my uncle?" No, babe, this is North Carolina, not Florida. All right. So he drove to the warehouse to let them know what he had found.
Smart move.
They told him just to throw it away in the dumpster.
No.
So he called the sheriff's department.
Smart.
Should have been the first call.
The 911 call,
Oh, yes.
which I don't want to give too much of it away because, again, just watch the documentary. But he says, "It's plumb nasty." It's so good. This whole documentary was amazing. "It's plumb nasty," the buyer, Shannon Whisnant, said. "Done grossed me out." The sheriff's department confiscated the foot for evidence for an investigation, to which Shannon replied, "You can't take it." And when asked why, he said, "Well, it's mine. I paid for it."
He's not wrong.
Okay, Tiffany, you are justifying this a little too much.
He's not wrong. He bought it.
Finders keepers.
Losers weepers.
Which
We
is
don't know
what
where that leg came from.
the documentary is called, if anyone wants to
And
look
no,
it up.
he
It's on
didn't lick it
Netflix.
to know where it came
Ugh.
from.
Blech.
You're welcome.
While they were investigating the case, the foot was to be held at a local funeral home. I'm just curious, how many funeral homes did they have in Maiden, North Carolina? Was it still Dwayne, the mortician?
Hold on. What's the county?
Maiden, Maiden. The sheriff's department. Nope, we already read that part. Shortly after the 911 call, the story of the foot began traveling and was picked up by the media. Shannon even set up a tourist attraction.
Could you say
of
this
sorts.
story got a foothold?
That's 2. I'm cutting you off after 3. Just put that out there.
Just stay a step ahead of me. It'll be fine.
We're done. Kicking you out.
Would you say she's cut up?
At the knees?
That was all right. Get them out.
So the story traveled by foot?
Word of mouth. Shortly after the 911 call, the story of the foot began traveling and was picked up by the media. Shannon even set up a tourist attraction of sorts, charging $1 for kids and $3 for adults to see the smoker that the foot was found in.
Wow. Did he make money off that?
I don't.
He made
No.
$1 per kid and $3 per adult.
Who's going to take their kid to go see a smoker?
Who
I'm
took their
assu-
kid to a murder hut in Alabama on their way home?
I would much rather go to a murder hut than go into someone's backyard to see a smoker that
Would it be in the backyard, or would he have that like in his driveway? Like open the garage door and be like, there
doesn't
it is.
matter.
I'm pretty sure it was in like a little
Apparently-
storage shed in his
Apparently
backyard.
you just like hang stuff wherever in your
No,
yard and the
No,
neighbors
no,
are
no.
fine.
That was the original guy, not this guy. This guy has class. No, he doesn't.
He does
No, he
not.
does not.
Far from it. Knowing that more people would come if he had the foot itself,
Yeah.
I lost my spot. If he had the foot itself, Shannon took the matter into his own hands and went down to the funeral home demanding to get the foot back. It was his. He paid for it. He still doesn't have the receipt in his pocket.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
Shannon announced to the media that he was going to do whatever it took to get the foot back.
Okay.
Do they not have better things to do?
Well, no. He doesn't. He buys and sells and finally saw an opportunity to get himself rich and famous, and he was going to grab it by the foot.
No.
I was
No.
going to say the balls, but
Rebecca
there's
has
no
better
balls.
puns.
Yes, I know, but she's cut off. Sorry.
Someone's jealous.
No, not right now. So he's going to do whatever it took to get the foot back. After hearing the story from friends, family, and now the media, John Wood, the original body that was attached to the foot,
The biological owner.
the biological owner of the foot, decided to head back to Maiden to meet with Shannon Whisnant and try and get his foot back. John reached out to the local media to let them know they would meet in the Dollar General parking lot
Oh my
across from the
God.
storage facility, and he would get his leg back and this whole thing would be over with.
I have a feeling it's not going to go down like that.
John made a statement saying he wasn't doing this for the money or the attention. He just wanted his foot back. And the fact that Shannon Whisnant was trying to keep the foot and make a tourist attraction out of it was disgusting.
Okay, I feel like he would have a better leg to stand on if he were nice to Shannon Whisnant.
He didn't want to return it to Mr. Wood. He is the birth owner, Mr. Whisnant said, but I feel like I still own it.
He has the receipt in his pocket.
I have still done has the receipt in my pocket.
See, the amazing thing is this actually happened.
This actually happened.
Humans, y'all.
Logistically, though, I could see both of their points.
No.
Not in this case.
No.
And why would you want it?
In both cases.
I mean,
like,
I lie because I would be like, yes,
Thank you.
but I'm a freak. So, after a debate of who the foot belonged to, Shannon finally asked John if they could discuss it away from the media. And all the while, the foot was still being held at a local funeral home. Shannon,
not a Hardee's.
not in Hardee's. We've
Okay.
moved on from the Hardee's. It's at Carl's Jr. now.
It's the same thing.
It went to California. It's traveling foot. Shannon, being the professional entrepreneur with a flair for promotion and a thirst for the spotlight, he was trying to rope John into a business plan, including profit sharing and split custody of the leg.
No. No.
I'm sorry, split custody of someone else's foot.
Yes. Leg, knee down.
Rebecca's really uncomfortable.
Why?
Because he's fucked up.
Says the woman who is like, yes, give me the leg.
I mean, if I
her
found
leg.
it, I would be interested in it. But if somebody reached out and was like, yo, homie, that's my leg. Check this prosthetic. I'd be like, not happy.
Let me take a picture with it. Let me take a selfie with it, and then you can have it back.
There would be no selfie. It would be that close to my face.
For people who don't like taxidermy, this is a very strange conversation.
I have
to be-
nothing against taxidermy.
I don't like taxidermy.
There it is.
It creeps me out.
But you'd keep your.
I'm not a
amputated
big
foot.
fan of it just because I don't see a reason behind it. But
My amputated foot, I would be all about. I'd be like, look, I grew that. And then I lost it, but it's there.
I still have it.
Put it on the mantle.
Exactly. It'll go beside the nutcrackers that are sitting up there in February on my mantle. It's fine.
February's not that bad. We have neighbors that still have their entire Christmas display
I
out.
gave those to her a week ago.
I know.
And they are sitting proudly on the mantle.
And
so
there
the-
they shall stay.
So how did this dual custody of the foot work out? Did they both get like 6 inches?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about a story.
Do you not know how joint custody? Rebecca, please don't ever have children and have to share custody.
I just wanted to make the pun.
I want the left side because that's more analytical. You can have the right side. That's not how it works. Wood insisted that he was not interested and he would get his foot back and had no interest in profiting from it. But apparently, Shannon was part of a different discussion and insists that he and Wood came to an agreement to take place if/when they got the foot back. News quickly got out to the media that the men had conflicting stories regarding the plan with the foot. Shannon decided to use this as a platform to push him into celebrity status. He began making merch for the Foot Smoker Barbecue Grill and went on every radio show, news channel, podcast, etc. that would have him.
You should have reached out to him.
2004,
Doesn't matter.
he did.
Oh.
And an asshole. So I wouldn't want him on the show. John Wood, if you're out there, I talk to you, boo. Any media outlet that would have him and try to get his story out and force John Wood to come out with a rebuttal or even eventually agree to work with Shannon. John held out until Shannon began talking poorly about Tom Wood, his father, and the family. That is when John came out and started making statements about his side of the story. During one of his interviews, it came out that John was able to retrieve his leg from the funeral home and had it back in his possession.
Oh.
This did not sit well with Whisnant.
Not his leg. He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
He has the receipt.
About it.
I don't
All
care.
5 toes and fingernails.
Toenails.
Nails of variety.
This is such a weird story.
And it actually happened.
I know.
There are news articles and videos. That's the craziest part to me. Shannon reached out to an attorney and decided to sue John in small claims court over the leg, which he felt belonged to him as he purchased it from the storage auction. The story had gone completely viral. All over talk shows, the internet, international news outlets, anywhere you looked, you could find this story. John and Shannon were even invited to appear on a talk show in Europe, the Johannes B. Kerner Show in Hansburg, Germany. And that, I believe, is a good pausing point. We will come back and discuss what happened on that talk show, but I could use a refill.
I just looked at a picture. Yeah, we should get a drink break.
Drink
Hey,
break.
Rebecca, can you mix something up for us, please?
Yep.
Hey, true crime listeners, check out our podcast, I Said Goddamn. We're a true crime comedy podcast hosted by 2 besties who like to share messed up cases that make you say goddamn. Every Sunday, we try to one-up each other's story by sharing a horrific case the other has never heard of. Along the way, we splash in some wildly inappropriate jokes and colorful language. Listen every Sunday from any of your favorite podcast directories. Also, follow us on Twitter at ISGD Podcast or visit our website, isgdpodcast.com.
And
So-
we're back.
We're back.
You good, Tiffany?
Yeah.
We are in Germany.
Wait, what?
That
We
was-
were in North Carolina.
Did you not? She was looking at the.
That's
at the
right.
Picture.
You're looking at the foot.
This is why I'm not allowed to Google
You were
during
prematurely Googling, ma'am.
story of my life.
Gotta get that checked.
John and Shannon were invited to appear on a talk show in Europe, the Johannes B. Kerner Show in Hamburg, Germany.
I'm there now. It's Hamburg, according to Rebecca. Hands. You are done with me. I'm sorry.
I really thought you said it was Handberg after all the foot jokes.
Well, she is footloose and fancy free.
John insisted that he would not show the leg, even after they offered to pay him extra and wanted him to bring it out during the interview.
Yeah, how do you get that on a plane? Can you do that?
Apparently.
That's biological material.
2004. They didn't care.
They did, because it's 3 years after 2001.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't care enough to stop him. John insisted that he wouldn't show the leg, even after they offered to pay him extra to bring it out during the interview. After they taped their portion of the show, they were taken to the green room where they were offered liquor, champagne, caviar. And after a few drinks, John agreed to bring the leg out, and they were able to photograph him with the leg.
So he had it with him.
He had it with him. Why else would you take it with you to Germany if you weren't planning on doing something?
Yeah.
But as a celebrity began to grow, so did John's addiction. He was even known to bring his dealer to events and tapings instead of his family.
Aww.
Over time, he pushed his family away again. They begged him to stop the whole thing with the leg and just let things go back to normal.
Sorry.
John and Shannon continue to make appearances and keep the story in the headlines. Eventually, the Judge Mathis show reached out to them and asked if they would like to appear on the show and try and resolve this. They reached out to Shannon, of course, playing on his excitement is the only way I can think to describe it, because he's a money-hungry asshole. And he, of course, agreed, hoping that things would go his way. John was finally sold when he got a letter stating that all of the rulings were final, and no matter the outcome, Mr. Whisnant would not be able to take Wood to court again. In an episode that aired on November 1st, 2000. Told you I don't have many dates for this one. Whisnant argued that he was entitled to the leg because the auction man said all sales were final.
He has the receipt. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
And that he wanted to continue to charge $10 a look.
I mean, from a legality standpoint, Whisnant is technically right.
No charge for amputees.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
That's magnificent.
Really?
This guy's an asshole,
Seriously.
but God, I love that.
Does he offer trades? Like, why?
What, for their body
Maybe
parts?
he's trying to grow like a little
A
roadside
skeleton?
Yeah.
You mean like the Mutter Museum, just in North Carolina?
The
the what?
The Mutter Museum, or the Muter Museum, is this museum in, like, I think it's in Philadelphia, full of like medical specimens.
Interesting.
Apparently, there's 4 known fainting spots. I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
That's wow.
We'll talk about this later. Foot.
It's mine, he said. It's a hell of a conversation piece. Wood said that he did not want Whisnant to be able to profit from his leg, and he also made a claim for emotional distress because of the media coverage of the case that he went along with willingly. In his final decision, Judge Mathis reunited the leg with John Wood, but denied his claim for damages.
Alrighty.
You're not getting that man's leg, he told Whisnant. I'm not giving you that man's leg. He did not appear to believe that Wood had actually suffered great emotional distress, however, telling him and Whisnant, I think that you are all, quite frankly, enjoying this, and something is wrong with both of you.
My man.
After the show was complete, John was contacted by the producers of the Judge Mathis show and was told that they, along with Judge Mathis himself, wanted to help him. They had pulled some strings and were able to get him into one of the best treatment facilities in the nation in California.
Judge Mathis, I want to hug you.
Yes.
Oh.
During his treatment, he rededicated himself to creating a memorial for his father, but he was unable to come up with the $15,000 to remove the flesh from the leg. Shortly after he left rehab, he was contacted by Katie Wilk, a forensic veterinarian who is known to have a hobby of cleaning animal bones and creating educational models. She heard about his case while he was on the Judge Mathis show, and she knew she needed to help. After they talked for a little while, John took his leg to her to have it bona fide.
I'm sorry, you're getting mad at me.
That was a quote from him in the documentary.
Oh my God. That's magnificent.
I'm about to take this and have it bona fide.
Oh my God. I love these people.
Have you found your people?
I think I have.
Tiffany is moving to Maiden, North Carolina. It's been real, guys. We're going to have to record from afar.
From afar.
Other people do it. We can too. It's fine.
Katie was able to clean the bones and cast it in a resin mold. At one point, she told John, I should just be able to peel this back like beef jerky.
Oh. Like
It's equal parts disgusting and so magnificent.
I love it.
This actually happened, y'all.
This actually happened. So she was able to completely clean it and cast it in a resin mold for him. Shannon continued to chase his dream of being famous, which put a lot of strain on his family. He continued to make appearances on reality TV shows and radio shows, but was never able to get where he wanted to be. He did announce that Ashley should not read notes on her phone anymore because she doesn't know how to work it.
That's very specific of him.
He did announce that he was planning to run for president of the United States
Oh
in
my
2016, but nothing more was heard after that radio announcement.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
And that's all we hear of Shannon, because bye-bye. John has continued to stay sober and is continuing to work on his sobriety.
Yay.
He has made amends with his family, even though they are hesitant to fully allow him back into their lives. He tries to continue to build on the relationships with them every day. John got married in 2014 to Leslie and continues to focus on his sobriety. His family is thankful for his sobriety and the closure he has gotten now that his leg is back. And in a weird way, thanks Shannon for being the stubborn man he was, because without him, John may not have gotten clean and been able to feel like he was able to make his father proud. He is now sober and happy.
Oh, good.
Well, that's a good ending to a weird story.
Oh, it's such a weird
It's
story,
so
and I love
weird.
it.
I just really want to go binge watch Judge Mathis now.
Right? Like, how can I support Judge Mathis in 2019?
I want to be his friend.
I'm not home at 2:00 in the afternoon during the week
I'm
to
not.
watch it.
We need to get that shit on Hulu.
Hulu.
Man.
Yeah.
Bravo, man. Brava.
Thank you.
That actually happened.
That
did.
actually happened. And
what was the name of the
fantastic.
documentary again?
Finders Keepers.
Alrighty.
I wonder how many people
it's on
did that
Netflix.
after seeing the documentary or hearing of the story. How many people saved amputated body parts?
I'm gonna imagine a lot of people do it anyway because I know I would.
I would.
No thanks.
I'll
Well,
take
you're
yours.
weird.
Rebecca just had the visual response of whoop, whoop, whoop. A what?
You guys went to
A foot. A what? A human foot.
you know, with 5 toes and 5 toenails and tendons and everything.
Tendons and everything, and there's cholesterol dripping everywhere.
Ah. Cool.
But
Oh,
I know I gave away
next time
the
I
story.
have a
but
steak,
watch
I'm
it.
going to look at it. I'm going to go, oh, that's marbled with cholesterol. Awesome.
A what?
I have issues with meat already. Let's not.
Just become a vegetarian
Beef
and you'll feel
jerky.
better.
Ugh. Okay.
Oh, next time you're eating a hamburger, I'm going to remind you of this story
Hey.
and then tell you you're pretty.
Hey.
You don't even have to remind it. Just go, oh, what?
I'm eating a hamburger for lunch. Oh, what? And then she'll freak out, and our coworkers will just be like, "Ah, that's them. That's normal."
And then
Yeah.
Rebecca will get a free hamburger for lunch.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
this is a great plan.
No. Brava.
Thank you. That's the story of John Wood and the leg
In the
for
Whisnant.
days. And the Whisnut.
Every
I felt
time you
kind
said
of bad for talking smack about him because he's dead, but
He kind of deserved it.
he's an asshole.
Every time you said Whisnat, I thought you were making fun of his name because it's such a weird
It's
name.
a weird last name. Whisnaunt, I think, is Whisnant, Whisnut.
Well, if that is your last name, that is awesome. But Whisnut was an asshole, so I'm playing footsie. Sorry.
Whisnut.
Whisnut?
So yeah, ta-da.
Oh, there's so many things I can't look at the same anymore. Like every time I'm gonna see like one of those storage hunter shows, now I'm gonna be like, they're gonna find
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Don't open the smoker. Don't do it.
Next time we go to flea markets, I'm going to be like, smoker.
And be like, Ashley, stop opening things.
Nope, won't do it.
Excuse me, sir. Can I open this box, please? You don't need to
It
know
looks
why.
rather leg-shaped. Can you confirm or deny the contents of this box?
Let's just open it and find out.
I have a box.
No,
Well, now that you've successfully creeped Rebecca out and simultaneously creeped me out and intrigued me.
See, I can't, like, it was a great story, but I don't know how I feel about knowing that y'all would preserve your amputated limbs.
What would you do with it? Just have it cremated? Or
Yeah,
burned,
just
or-
like throw it in the pile and burn it. I don't need it. I don't want it.
I
It was,
worked
is a
hard
waste
it was
on that.
taken off for a reason. It's fine.
And
a waste.
especially at the rate I'm going, it's going to be covered in tattoos, so it's going to be an art piece.
Tattoos.
It is. You're going to have to get that like professionally taken care of.
Did you know that there's a service that does that now?
What?
Preserves the skin that has tattoos on it. Like if you pass away, they can take your tattoo off and like frame it and preserve it for...
They've been doing that for, I'm trying to remember which country it was, but they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, but there's a service that'll do it for you now.
My life is complete. All right.
You say that during a lot of episodes.
Well, I mean it this time.
You mean it every time.
Will you
Shut
keep
up.
my tattooed skin on your wall?
Yes. Especially the tattoos we have that are the same.
Do you want them both?
Yes.
'Kay.
Thank you.
Dibs.
Dibs.
So remember, friends.
Oh. That wasn't me
I may have touched something with my foot.
with your foot.
Oh my God.
Remember, friends, everyone has something that they find odd. Let us tell you why it's not.
If you have any questionable topics you'd like us to discuss, you can share them with us on any of our social medias. Links can be found on our website, theladiesofstrange.com. Or you can email them to us at theladiesofstrange@gmail.com.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you think we're doing a good job and want to support the show, you can find us on Patreon. Keep it strange, lovelies. And if you have any amputated limbs, send us pictures.
Or send them to us.
You know what that story was? A kick in the pants.
You shut up. Bye.